Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Gamestack podcast, Boots Not on the Ground. I'm Shaline, and with me is Vendertron. Say hello, Vendertron. Vendertron.
He's broken.
The mic is broken. There we go.
There you go.
Literally was not muted. I don't know what happened there. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome, sir or madam.
Also with us is Rick.
Hey, everyone. How's it going?
We also have a super special guest with us today. Hi to Kern Jess.
Hi. It's me.
Glad you could join us here today, Jess. Jess is one of our elite 3 moderators of We Just Love Games, and we're happy to have her on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So today, we have some things to talk about, some little housekeeping things before we get rolling with the podcast. We just wanted to mention that we're doing the ASA podcasting charity stream on November 11th. This is an event they do yearly. They raise money for Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. It's a 12-hour stream, I believe. Last year they raised $1,500, I think it was.
Wow, that's awesome.
Not a small chunk of change. And we are very honored to be helping them this year. We'll be on the 4 o'clock Eastern time hour. So that's going to be really fabulous. We're excited to do that. We hope you'll join us and donate lots of money to help the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.
Fantastic.
What will we be doing?
We haven't talked about that, actually.
Nice.
Talk about that.
I wasn't sure.
We could do a special podcast, or we could do a game stream. They were pretty open about what we can do.
Cool. All right.
Just like every other show we do, we show up and then we go, so what are we doing today?
Just imagine that we have a plan. It'll all come together, guys.
We do have a plan.
Yes, hours went into planning this.
Yes, we've been working on it for months now. It's going to be amazing. It's going to blow your mind. You're just going to love it. So if you love this highly planned and thought out podcast, then you might consider giving us a 5-star review on iTunes, like M. Klimp did. Thank you, M. Klimp, for that 5-star review and your kind words. They mean a lot to us, not just in terms of giving us the warm fuzzies, but also in helping make the show more visible to people who are looking for fabulous gaming podcasts. Today, we have a ton of news. Over the past fortnight, so many video game things have happened. I had a really hard time narrowing down the news we were going to talk about, so I kind of didn't. We've got like 8 pages of news. And we are going to talk about all the video games that we're playing. I have specifically Assassin's Creed Origins and Mario. And we have an email to read. And we brought Jess on to talk about Twitchcon, which is going to be fabulous.
Maybe.
Well, we know it's going to be fabulous, Jess.
Yeah, you're probably all sitting there going, so who is this person? And why is she here? Well, TwitchCon. Boots not on the ground.
That's it.
So we know Jess. We've been chatting with her for a long time, but our listeners, they don't know Jess yet.
They don't love her.
They don't love her.
Just like we do.
All right.
But it's only because they don't know you. So.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So, Jess, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, nice. Well, I used to stream. I'm like one of those once a time streamers. But I got to know everyone here just through Fallout 4, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't expect to talk about myself, so that's it. The end.
Well, I remember the first time that, as a listener, you really came to my attention was when you took Fallout off the record on a marathon with you.
I did.
Technically means that Rick and I have also run a marathon.
The first one ever and the only one probably.
Yes. We ran a marathon. We didn't die. It was amazing. Thanks for making that happen, Jess.
You're welcome. Anytime.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
roll
true.
it
I really did listen to him the whole way.
the whole way.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was just motivation to stop. She was like, I cannot wait to get to the finish line so I can turn this the frick off.
Actually, if anything, it kept me going because I was like involved in everything. So I was like, I guess I just have to keep running to finish this race.
She's probably
Another
like,
mile.
God, Rick just keeps going on and on.
Like this
He
marathon.
just sniffles into the microphone. It's awful.
I am trying
One
so hard not to do that
star.
tonight. I have a cold and I feel the sniffles and I'm trying to not. I don't want any more Sudafed comments.
Jess is super awesome though, guys. We have a budding friendship from Followed Off the Record. That's where we met. And she was the one that introduced me to Ark. Need I say more? And so that's how that happened. Bam.
It's not my fault. That came off really bad.
No, I blame you entirely.
Oh,
My addiction is your fault.
I used to watch your 2 stream Arc. That was fun.
Oh yeah, Ark is a good time.
it is.
I really miss the Vendortron streams.
I know. I'm really
I
sorry,
do too.
guys. School has taken my life over, but I'm really excited for the charity stream coming up, and I'm gonna try and fit in some streaming on Reading Week. So
That would be fabulous. We would all
Mhm.
be very pleased to join you.
yeah,
Yeah.
So guys, do you want to talk about some news?
let's do
Let's
a
do it.
podcast.
Yes.
Okay, let's do a podcast.
Yes.
I've got a feeling this first bit of news is going to make Shaline ranty.
A little bit, maybe.
Well, here we
I
go.
mean, it's not like it's a huge surprise, but still,
Well-
it was that final dagger to the heart. Rockstar Games has confirmed that there will be no single player DLC for Grand Theft Auto 5. And I mean, this is like a 4-year-old game, so it's not really a surprise anymore.
Mhm.
But in 2013, Rockstar did announce that a substantial single-player update would arrive sometime in the next year. Obviously, that did not happen. It's something that I gripe about all the time. And recently, Rockstar's design director Imran Sarwar, I don't know how to pronounce this man's name.
Good to me.
He told
is.
the folks at Game Informer that although they love single player and may include single player expansions in future games, it wasn't possible or necessary for GTA 5. Let us agree to disagree, Mr. Sarwar.
Oh gosh.
I like how he's like may include in future games. All right. So does that mean they're moving more towards online multiplayer platforms versus single player story?
That's pretty much what I was thinking.
Yeah, they made $1 billion off of GTA 5 online. They've made so much money off of GTA 5 online. They probably live in houses made out of $100 bills, like
And
just stuffed in the walls
Yep.
as insulation.
their toilet paper is Benjamin Franklin's.
Indeed, gold-plated toilets. It's just they're blowing their nose with the $100 bill. It's yeah.
Another one bites the dust. Well, I mean, here's the thing though. I mean, at least they are upfront and honest about it.
Mhm.
Unlike, EA. And so you got to give them credit for that. And they do make games that people enjoy playing. So
And GTA 5 was amazing, but that's why I wanted single-player DLC. I would
Yeah.
like to play more GTA 5 because it was amazing.
I
What
still
was-
haven't played it.
What was it? What was his name? What was his name? Alan?
still
No. Rick? No.
There was Michael and Trevor and
Trevor. Trevor was my favorite.
yeah, I liked all of them. They were all great characters and fun to play as in different ways.
Well, maybe they could, put that effort into making another GTA.
So here is the quote from Mr. Sarwar. With GTA 5, the single-player game was absolutely massive and very, very complete. It was 3 games in one. The next-gen versions took a year of everyone's time to get right. Then the online component had a lot of potential, but to come close to realizing that potential also sucked a lot of resources. And then there are other games, in particular Red Dead Redemption 2. The combination of these three factors means for this game, we did not feel single-player expansions were either possible or necessary, but we may well do them for future projects. He explained that not making single-player DLC was not really a conscious decision, it's just what happened.
Interesting.
And the thing is, the GTA 4 single-player DLC was, in my opinion, better than the base game, and that's really, I expected something of the same caliber here, and I'm so disappointed that it never came to pass. And I'm so happy for all those people who got many, many hours of happiness out of GTA 5 online, like listener Captain Bones.
Yeah. That guy religiously plays it.
Yeah, he's huge in the community. But I'm not one of those people. I had a very bad experience with GTA Online. And
why don't you tell us about that?
I like that story.
I tell this story like every podcast.
I know, Shaline and I, we just tell our Grand Theft Auto stories every show. So who wants to go first this time?
You guys, let's move on.
Okay, moving
Talk
on.
about something that's gonna make me happy. Okay. You know what makes me happy?
What?
Animal Crossing.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Animal Crossing. And geez, I just knocked over my Bowser amiibo and it made a big noise.
No.
The Animal Crossing mobile game was finally announced by Nintendo.
That's exciting.
Animal Crossing Pocket Camp arrives in late November. It's in Australia now, so if you're in Australia, you can play it right now.
Pocket Camp?
Yeah, Pocket Camp is the name of it.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever been to Pocket Camp, Rick? God.
It just sounds ominous.
You guys have been to Pocket Camp, right? I've been to Pocket Camp.
All the time.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. Are we talking about the same Pocket Camp now?
The player will manage their own campsite, and in true Animal Crossing style, there is tons of customization. There's furniture crafting, and you can make friends with the animal inhabitants, which is my very favorite part of Animal Crossing. My best video game friend ever is Antonio the Anteater from Animal Crossing New Leaf. While microtransactions are available in the game, you can earn things through traditional grinding. And I've heard from listener Sherry, who is from Australia, that the microtransactions are not in your face. You know, you can totally play the game without using the microtransactions. And that makes me feel good. Fishing makes a return with a net that you can use to catch tons of fish at once. The game uses a real-world clock like previous Animal Crossing titles, so if you want to catch a bug or something that only comes out at night, you have to be up at night to catch this fish or bug or whatever.
Huh.
The game will have seasonal events and limited time products. Timmy and Tommy Nook and the Able sisters make a return. You take out a loan on a camper, like a camper trailer, instead of a house. But instead of Tom Nook being your usurious mortgage holder, you'll pay off some penguins instead.
Oh, gosh.
So that's a fun change.
Sounds very mafia.
Yeah, it is. Tom Nook has traditionally been very much a bit of a mafia guy. Yeah.
Penguins are at least wearing suits.
Exactly. They're
Tuxedo.
a classier sort of gangster, the penguins. In the chat, they're asking if I'm still playing Magikarp, and the answer is yes, I am still playing Magikarp. I played Magikarp just yesterday.
Magikarp DM?
Magikarp.
Yeah,
There you go.
I'm adding to the show.
That's funny.
It's so bad it's good.
A couple of Carpe Diem.
Okay.
I'm really excited for Animal Crossing Pocket Camp to come to America, to the States, so that I can play it. It's going to be fabulous. So do you remember a few months ago when Bethesda decided that they were no longer going to send out review copies in advance? And it was sort of this very, very tricky move to control the conversation around their games because they didn't hold to that rule for everyone.
Isn't it?
They held it in the media, but they were still sending it out to Bethesda-centric YouTubers.
Isn't it ironic? Sorry, isn't it ironic that with Wolfenstein they ended up losing complete control of that conversation anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Well, temporarily until they brought it back.
When they stopped sending review copies about how they wanted everyone to experience the game at the same time. But that just rang a little bit hollow when I went onto YouTube and 3 or 4 YouTubers on my timeline already had the game, you know? That seemed like it was not this this thing where they wanted everybody to have the same experience. It was this thing where they only wanted to send the game to people who they knew were going to say nice things about it. Well, that does seem to have backfired for Bethesda in terms of not getting the coverage they needed for their games, because they have sent out review copies of Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein 2 to both the media and YouTube influencers and Twitch influencers.
I was gonna say, I didn't realize I did that with Evil Within or Wolfenstein 2. I did see it was pretty quick that a lot of here's all the alternate endings you can get with Wolfenstein 2, like the day after it came out. Like I thought that was a little fishy.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how.
Oh, I really want to hear about what you guys think of Wolfenstein 2. I haven't played it yet.
I haven't played it yet either.
What? Really? That is shocking.
I know.
I still haven't played the first one.
Too much PUBG, hey?
Yeah.
It's a great game. Did you guys catch the Vice feature they did on Wolfenstein 2?
I haven't. Why don't you tell us about it?
Oh, they were just talking to the lead developer from Sweden and Pete Hines about and also the voice actress for, I don't know her name, but the Resistance leader. I don't know her name. But they were talking to her, and they were just asking about, the political aspects behind the game and their motives and that sort of thing. And it was just a good insight. The guy from Sweden, he's dealt with this a lot more, Nazis on the streets. He's dealt with that a lot more than we have in recent years. And so, and then Pete Hines was basically just like F Nazis.
Oh man, Pete Hines, that tweet
he just doesn't even care.
There was like no shame whatsoever.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
It's great.
Oh, he has no chill.
So I mean, and even regarding some of the what do I want to say? I guess you could say the more. I'm trying to think of the right word here. Agendas. That's it. They were talking to the voice actress about some of the race agendas in the game, and she's just basically like saying, you can pay attention to them or you cannot. It's up to you. It's a game. It's your choice. Like, deal with it. So I'm really excited to play that game, because this game was completely developed in the world of Wolfenstein, and not in any way like charged from whatever. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it.
Indeed. Well, I just wanted to make note of how interesting it was that they have seemed to quietly reverse that policy. So speaking of PUBG is coming to Xbox on December 12th. This will be in the Xbox game preview program, so it's not the full release of the game. And the full release of the PC version is expected to come in late December.
That's exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. We are all big PUBG fans. And I'm really excited to have it on Xbox. It's going to be fun times.
Yeah, Shaline, I bet that you're super excited about that. Are you going to play it on Xbox?
I am, yeah. I mean, I'll still play on PC with you guys.
You better.
But on Xbox, I can be like with my mom.
Yeah, but I do have my Xbox friends, so,
And I do have my Xbox friends too. Like most of the people that I know from real life who play video games are on Xbox. So, yeah. It'll be great.
We're better friends, so you should just play with
You
us.
are better friends, and I will still play with you. So don't worry. Okay. Validation, Rick.
Make me sound so needy.
I love you guys, and I won't ditch you. I won't ditch you for the Xbox, but I'm gonna play that too.
That's what they all say.
Mm-hmm.
Then suddenly the Xbox is creeping back into your life.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
Oh dear.
I'm very excited for that, and I hope that all of you Xbox people who don't have a gaming capable PC can get your PUBG on, jump out of a plane,
So when is
Dodge
it?
bullets with a frying pan.
Do we know when it's coming to PS4?
Not for a long time.
Hmm.
Because it is they're making a big old deal out of how Xbox is the exclusive console.
Oh goodness.
And they haven't said for how long. I'm sure it's a timed thing. You know, they'd be stupid not to go to PS4 as well.
Right?
PS4 has such a huge install base. Why would they ignore that?
Yeah.
Well, my guess is I think I've read somewhere, and I'm probably wrong, that they have kind of a deal with Microsoft at the moment. And my guess is they're developing it for the PlayStation 4, and when that deal's up, they're just going to be like, here it is. Boop.
Bam! I think you're quite right. I do. And I think we should have maybe a community PUBG event.
There you go.
I here we are again, planning stuff.
Planning stuff that we can't deliver because all three of us are way too busy.
I know. But wouldn't that be something that would be really fun sometimes?
It certainly
pause
would.
the podcast and discuss this
Yeah,
event.
we're just gonna have a meeting. We'll see you guys at 6:30. 8 minutes out, but
So speaking of the Xbox, Xbox has some original Xbox games available on backwards compatibility. They released a list of 13 games. I don't have the whole list here, but it includes KOTOR, Ninja Gaiden Black, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, Sid Meier's Pirates, and more. So if you have some nostalgia for any of these games, go ahead and check that out on Xbox One. They have been up-resed to 1080p and it's going to be fabulous.
ooh, fancy.
Are they still making Ninja Gaiden games?
No, that's the original one, Ninja Gaiden Black.
Oh.
Well, not the original one, but it's from the original Xbox. They haven't made one since the last generation, I don't believe.
That's why I was like confused. I was like,
Yeah. Are you listening to the podcast, Rick? We're making a podcast here. I'm sorry if that's interfering with your life.
I mean, I know you weren't here last week, but I didn't know that you also were not here today.
I was here last week.
Last fortnight, he means.
Last fortnight.
Mhm.
Apparently, I'm also
No.
checked out.
I was distracted for a minute. I thought my daughter was crying. So
Oh, no. Well, that's definitely
blame it on the kid.
Card. Play the
well,
Whoa.
she is, but you don't see me jumping up, do you? Just making sure it didn't
Oh
bleed.
man, it's so good. Whew. Priorities, guys.
In addition to all of those original Xbox games coming to backwards compatibility for the Xbox One, 4 Xbox 360 games are getting Xbox One X enhancements. So that's
Ooh.
pretty cool. These 4 games are Halo 3, which is one of my personal favorite Halo. It's
Very good, Halo.
I love Halo 3. I want to play Halo 3 now. Oblivion,
Ooh.
and Fallout 3, guys. Fallout 3.
Oh.
Also Assassin's Creed, the original one.
Well,
So
nah. But
2 really incredible games. Halo 3, Fallout 3.
come on, Oblivion's amazing.
I've never gotten past Patrick Stewart. Like Patrick Stewart gives me my assignment and I go out into the world, out of the dungeon, and I'm like, I'm gonna play something else now.
Oh, it's
Make
I
it-
just can't. I've played the first hour of Oblivion probably 6 times.
Wow.
Like, yeah,
That's
I just
so
can't.
good.
I can't. I want to, but I can't get into it.
Just make it so, Shaline.
At least he doesn't say that in the game, because that would have been like over immersion's just gone.
Yeah.
I would have loved that even more. I would have thought that would have been amazing.
No, Oblivion, the world is just so immersive in that one that they tend to they've lost it in Skyrim. Skyrim is an amazing game, but they did kind of lose a little bit of like the mystery that I found in Oblivion, which does suck. So I'm glad that it's getting, a revamp.
Mhm.
And it's funny, I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, I would love to play a revamped version of that game when I could just go download a few graphic mods and it would be that. So, and I'll never play it again.
I've heard really good things about how good Fallout 3 looks and plays on the X.
Joseph Tau says Oblivion is so incredible, unbalanced in the leveling of enemies. He is absolutely right. There is like a level where everything's easy, then you level up once, and all of a sudden they're into these new guys that just decimate you. It is pretty funny.
Video games.
Video
Isn't it
games.
amazing that Oblivion and Skyrim were both released for the same hardware. Isn't it amazing the difference that a couple years can make?
Oh,
It is
shoot, you're
truly
right.
amazing.
Oblivion was a launch title for the 360.
You're right. That you forget how long of a run Xbox 360 had.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm sorry, I'm just...
No, it's all good. Fallout 3 too. I mean, I don't know. How many times are they going to re-release these games though? Jeez.
I wish they would do like a full remaster of Fallout 3. That would be fabulous.
Hey man, Fallout New
Within-
Vegas remastered.
It would be amazing.
Been saying it all this time, Shaline.
Yeah, that's a great point. Why aren't they remastering New Vegas?
This is what I've been saying for the last 3 shows. Actually, well, that would be all of our shows, but that's beside the point.
I mean, technically, I haven't been paying attention apparently.
Yes, well, you never do. I mean, it's nothing new. We're used to it, Rick. We're used to it.
Real quick. Any more news or inclinations on that mystery title Bethesda's going to be announcing later this year? They're running out of year.
Oh, it was Doom and Wolfenstein for the Switch.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay,
Kidding me.
did any of you see the data of the sales that was posted on Reddit gaming for gaming sales on release date for consoles? So somebody put together all of the console sales for all of the different consoles in a really nice figure, and Switch is at the bottom.
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
They are
Switch is doing
totally at
pretty
the
bad.
bottom. They out of the gates, they sold the least amount of consoles of any console ever released.
Jeez,
Really?
Yes.
Man, I remember
I thought
working.
Switch console sales were going really well.
Me too.
I
It
had
was
heard
very
it was
surprising.
on track to catch up with PS4.
Wait a second. Here's what I'm going to say. I think really well is relative to just Nintendo, sales in general.
Potentially. Yeah.
Compared to the GameCube, the Switch is selling well. It's swell. It's
I would like
swelling
Joseph
well.
Tao to research this and confirm.
I will post
Switch sales are
the data. I will post the data on Twitter.
I would still like Joseph Tao to be an arbitrator of this conversation.
I just remember working at Target. I feel like I don't know what it is, but I feel like when the 360 and the PS3 and the Wii were coming out, I feel like it was like this golden age of video gaming, and now things have gotten very, very convoluted and funky. So when I worked at Target, there was this you could not keep Wii's on the shelf. It was the Wii was the the name is slipped, but yeah, you could not keep. Oh yeah, the Wii was the soggy bottom boys of the video game world.
Well, but
You
the
could
Wii
not-
also catered to gamers, but it also catered to families.
But why is that still not the case? There's still families being born. The last time I checked, you know what I mean?
Well, the
Well, here's
Wii
the-
kind of aged, I think, but
No, but with the Switch.
well, that's true. Yeah.
Now here's the thing, though. I have a 4-year-old, and she is currently playing Guild Wars on a PC with a mouse and keyboard. So she kind of bypassed
Yep.
the Wii thing.
But
So maybe that's what it is.
But-
the kids nowadays are like, screw the Wii. I'm just playing with mouse and keyboard now.
But Rick, you are your father's daughter. Wait, you are your
That's-
daughter's father. That's what I
no.
meant to say. It's a confusing concept.
No, I know, but
She was
I
raised
just-
by you, of course. She probably came out of the womb with a mouse and keyboard.
So
You know-
Joseph's answer is that he doesn't have his computer to find out this data. He is at a comedy show right now. And I say, what are you doing listening to the podcast?
Who are you? Hey,
Whoa.
Joseph, tell us who you're watching. Tell us who you're
Oh,
watching.
man. that's
Must be
so
Dane Cook. Must be Dane Cook.
Oh. Why would you even?
So-
Never mind.
This is going to be available later.
It must not be a very good comedy show.
Oh man, that maybe that's it. Maybe it's not as good as
The kind of comedy show where there's a drummer that actually goes, but
Oh man.
So, guys, it's November now, and you know what that means? It means we have a new slate of free video games to talk about.
Oh, I
I
was
thought it was
I was
getting
like,
warmer.
should I grow a mustache or
dude, you should totally
Yes, you could.
Do it.
grow a handlebar mustache. It would totally fit.
That would
Oh,
be
I will
amazing.
only grow one if you grow one.
I can't, dude. I
What?
can't. No, it gets all like
But look at your sideburns. Those probably
That's
pop up
it.
in like 5 days.
that's it. I grow a mustache, it moves over and becomes a sideburn. It does. It just gets all like kind of nasty and like patchy looking, and then I'll tell you what it turns into. There's a little gap here, and it turns into this really like 70s like porn pedophile thing. And
Oh.
it's not a good thing.
Like
I've
like
tried
you're
it.
Not a good look.
like you're
not a
auditioning
good
for an
look.
episode of Stranger Things or something.
No, worse than that. It's just it's like think of Bollywood in the
Do the
70s.
sideburns, do they grow like instantly? Like
They do. I
when you
shave.
don't want to have them? Do you have to like shave them every day? Like
I could grow a mustache in about 3 days.
really?
Canadian genes.
I think you need to grow a mustache when you're
It's part of my blood because we live in the cold. We have to grow the fur. It's a survival mechanism, you guys.
I could just totally see
so
you with a
amazing.
handlebar.
That is so amazing.
Anyways, we should probably continue on with our lovely show. So
Free
the lovely
games.
folks in the
Free
chat,
games
you know.
November. We've already lost all our listeners. Farewell, listeners. All 6 of them gone. PS Plus, if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, PSVR, Until Dawn Rush of Blood is going to be free in November. So if you have a PlayStation VR, or even if you think you might get one someday, if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you can go ahead and make that free purchase now. And then someday, if you get a PSVR, then you'll have a game for it, which is pretty darn cool. Worms Battlegrounds and Bound. And I think Bound looks really cool. I thought about buying that, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. Also, check out the PlayStation blog if you are interested in the PS3 and Vita titles that are available. If you're an Xbox Games with Gold subscriber, November 1st through 30th, you can get Trackmania Turbo. November 16th through December 15th, Tales from the Borderlands, which is probably my favorite Telltale game. November 1st through 15th, Nights into Dreams on Xbox 360 backwards compatibility. And November 16th through 30th, Deadfall, also Xbox 360 backwards compatibility. So that's the free games for now.
Wow. That's a lot coming down the pipeline.
That's one thing I miss about having a console is free games.
Well, there's lots of free stuff on Steam.
I guess Humble Bundles.
Oh, we don't talk about that, Rick.
Yes. Did you hear? Did you listen to the last podcast?
Yes, I know.
Okay, good.
Please don't make me laugh when I have
Glad you did your homework.
It's sad. Everything's getting bought up by everything. We're in the age of monopoly again, and
Yes, except everybody just keeps going around the board and not owning anything.
well, the funny
at
thing,
least for
except
millennials,
for, like,
anyways.
except for IGN and EA, it was actually funny. I was watching Boardwalk Empire, and they're like, we could go down and live on that place on Park Place or Atlantic Avenue, and I was like, I know those for Monopoly,
I know those because I played the board game.
pretty much.
So speaking of Monopoly, you guys, one of the news items that I didn't pick for this week that was in Joseph's news drop, Monopoly has a load time of 6 minutes on the Switch.
Wait, say that again?
What?
Monopoly has a load time of 6 minutes on the Switch.
And we were wondering why their sales are so low.
Well, I haven't had problems with load times, but why 6 minutes?
Wow.
A lot of
It's
polygons.
like by the time that it loads, your batteries are dead, and like 6 minutes. That's pretty bad. But moving
Goodness.
right along, did anybody else watch PlayStation's Paris Games Week show?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
No.
I didn't either.
They had a pretty amazing showing at Paris Games Week. It was
Oh.
it was a really good press conference.
It's like the fashion show of gaming.
Yeah, exactly. They come out on the runway, and stuff, and they're like, hello.
Well, it's just like PlayStation in Paris. Like Paris Games Week? Really? That's a thing? Sorry, continue.
France has to have their conventions too.
Just the Devil Wears Prada soundtrack playing in the background. It's just
You have to get down to a size 0 to
Yep.
play the games.
gonna throw my console in a fountain.
Sample sizes of the PSVR. guy.
Wow.
Dear.
The Last of Us trailer, they had a Last of Us Part 2 trailer. It was pretty intense. A lot of people did not like it.
Really?
There was no gameplay in the trailer. It was just sort of a CG cutscene. And it was very, very violent and very intense. And I wondered if it might have been in slightly bad taste for the setting, you know. A lot of people were watching this like just on Twitch at work and stuff, and meanwhile they break a chick's arm with a hammer.
Yeah.
Like it's
But
I don't know.
I want to take a survey of all the people who were like upset about the Last of Us 2 trailer and see how many people watch The Walking Dead who got offended at this thing. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
come
like,
on, you guys.
What is like you guys watch like
Game of
you know,
Thrones with full frontal
horror.
on both genders.
horror, and then like all of a sudden it's a game, so it's like offensive because you broke a girl's arm. Like-
No, you haven't watched this trailer.
I'm
was
literally watching it right now.
pretty intense, Rick. It was pretty intense.
I gotta admit the CG looks amazing.
It was beautiful. And I didn't dislike the trailer. I was interested in the trailer. I would have rather seen gameplay. And I would have rather just not heard about it until they have a date for me. You know, I'd rather get a release date. But
Dang. Okay, it is pretty crazy.
it's pretty brutal, right? Pretty brutal.
Wait for it.
Dang.
I kept thinking about what if I was one of those people in the audience? How awkward would it be to be like watching that in this room full of people? Like, I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Wow.
Interesting.
If you ever want to set up hate for a protagonist, they nailed it.
Yeah,
Or for antagonist, I'm sorry.
true.
They nailed it.
They had a new trailer for Detroit Become Human, and this is now my most anticipated game. I cannot wait for Detroit Become Human. Yes, it looks very cool.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
It's a near future game with androids, and they're dealing with the questions of like android slavery, and it's a very highly decision based game. It's from David Cage, who's the guy who made Heavy Rain and what was the second one? Beyond Two Souls. And I really enjoyed both of those games. Beyond Two Souls was highly unpopular, but I really liked it anyway. And Detroit Become Human, it looks so good. There are so many different ways that the story can unfold. And the scene that they showed this android who was sort of hired as a housekeeper and babysitter by this guy who probably should not have been in charge of a human child. And you know, he was showing some cruelty to the child, and it showed all these different ways it could have unfolded, you know, where the child gets hurt, or or the android can step in and she gets hurt, or they can both run away together. And you know, there were so many different ways it can unfold depending on the decisions you make. And I'm really, really interested in playing this game. I definitely want to check it out.
I'm gonna have to take a look at that.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. I think you in particular would really enjoy it, Bendertron.
Can you kill other people?
Probably. You probably.
Oh, then I'm interested.
Yeah, but you would do it through dialogue choices, I think. So we lost you. We lost Rick.
Gotta pull the
So
trigger.
there were no dates for any of these games, not for God of War or Last of Us 2 or any of these. So that was sad. I was sad about that. Did you guys hear about Ghosts of Tsushima?
No.
Open world samurai game.
Oh, I was like,
Yes. Yes. Open world samurai game. It looks fantastic. Really good. I'm very excited for that. Guacamelee 2 and Spelunky 2 were announced. The new Spider-Man game still looks like it's going to be rad. Shadow of the Colossus, there was a new trailer for that. Rick, I know that will be of particular interest to you.
Yep. Hopefully
And-
it comes to PC.
Yeah, they showed a bunch of other great stuff. So it was really good. It looks like PlayStation is going to have a great year someday when they release these games. Someday. So like 2019 is going to be amazing. What a time to be alive.
When it's 2019, just let me know.
Yeah.
Means I may or may not be like halfway through school, and
Aw.
I can just table that game for another 2 years.
Mhm. Indeed. So,
Ghost looks pretty cool, actually.
right? Doesn't
Yeah.
that look neat?
I can't think of a samurai game that's come out that's been AAA since really Gaiden.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you could say that Rise, was that launch title for PlayStation 4 where you could be like you could be a Roman soldier, a samurai type dude, and something else, and it was basically just a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that one.
It was a launch title that didn't really get much. I mean, it was like a lot of press because the graphics were crazy, but other than that, it was pretty rudimentary. But I think that was the last like game in that manner where you.
Oh,
could actually...
For Honor, Archon.
Yeah, For Honor. I think that's what it
Yeah,
is.
that's,
There we go. Chat
yeah.
room to the rescue. That should just be what this podcast is called.
Yep.
Really, the chat room should be the podcast.
Hey, we should do an episode like that.
We just read the chat room.
We'll just sit here and not talk, and the whole chat room will do the whole show. News, gameplay, challenge, everything.
What if we did a show someday that was like a choose your own adventure, and the chat room, it would be like Twitch
What do you want to
Plays
talk
Fallout,
about?
except it would be Twitch Plays Gamestack.
Yeah.
We could all vote what we talked about. It would be amazing.
Oh
That would
gosh.
probably be the worst idea ever.
We're having another meeting during the podcast.
Yeah.
Again.
Sorry.
Guys, this is
So,
the best
Housemarque.
episode ever.
Housemarque is the developer of Resogun and many other amazing twin stick shooters. I in particular played many hours of Resogun, loved Resogun. And they recently posted a post titled Arcade is Dead, in which they announced that they can't make a living doing twin stick shooters anymore. No one is buying them. They've been committed to this genre for a long time, keeping it alive across console generations. But they are going to move on to developing other types of games. And I find that super sad. I mean, I wish them the best of luck. I'm sure whatever they do in the future is going to be at the same level of quality as the twin stick shooter arcade games that they've been building. But I feel a little sad that they're moving on. So
You know, it's funny.
Oh.
I've seen like 3 or 4 arcades pop up, like open in like the last couple of months. So,
yeah.
okay. Surprised.
Indeed. And I'm going to end on a happy note with the news. Owlboy, which is a 2D pixely platformer, coming to consoles, including the Switch, on February 13th. And I love the look of Owlboy. I want to play Owlboy. But as soon as I heard it was coming to Switch, I was like, I'm waiting. This is the perfect platform for this game. So
It looks beautiful.
Owlboy on Switch. Very excited for that. And that's what I have for news this week. Do you guys want to talk about the games we're gaming? I think we should lead off with our lovely guest Jess, because she hasn't had too much to say. So what you been playing, Jess?
Nothing. No.
Nothing.
I think the last thing I've been playing is Overwatch, which I was very like, I'm not gonna play Overwatch. It's too cartoony, but I did not realize that you have like the support character, so you really are working as a team. So I really do enjoy it, and I like playing Anna, the support character that does like sniper stuff.
So who got you?
Anna is a cool looking character.
So how did you get into it? Who was there? Somebody in particular that was like, "Oh, you got to play this with me," or were you just like, "I'm just gonna try this out"?
There was someone. There was a partner streamer streaming whatever, and she was playing games with her subs, and so I was a sub to her. So that's how I got involved in it, and I was terrible. Like, I'm totally bad at it. But I ended up playing just with, like, when you play with your friends, like, I really enjoy that because, we're all on.
That's what it's all about.
Talking. Yeah, and, like, we're all like, oh, look at these losers, whatever. Or getting sniped all the time. It was great. But, yeah, I really do like Overwatch. After playing it, I was like, I'm down.
It is really, really popular.
Yeah.
I've never played it, though. Yeah.
I really enjoy it. I really do. So
I really judge a game by its trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Big time. Big time.
Overwatch has some great like character trailers though. I really enjoy Overwatch. I don't play Overwatch, but I enjoy like Overwatch fan art and watching the trailers and seeing all the cosplay.
Shaline, have you played it?
Nope.
And what about you, Rick?
No, my wife did for a little bit, but I never liked character-based shooters.
Oh, wait, hold up. Speaking of your wife, did she go as 11 for Halloween? Did you convince her?
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh, so we'll just leave it at that and move on then.
The only
I
thing
think
she
we
did
may have
was
started some tension in the McFick house.
no. I'm a big fan of short hair, but she or shaved heads rather, but no, she wore my daughter's Supergirl cape, like this tiny little cape all day.
Oh, that's cute.
She couldn't think of anything else, but yeah, no, she did not go as 11. But I'm just not a fan of character shooters, so never was interested in games like Overwatch or like Team Fortress. I'm sure they're good. It's just not for me.
Yeah, I never got into it. Even just watching people stream it, I always found it I don't know. I just don't like games where there is an overwhelming amount of in-game mechanics just all happening at once. I get really overwhelmed because I'm old, I think. Maybe that's why. Hypersensitive. We'll go with that. Hypersensitive. But what else have you been playing, Jess?
Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
That was another game that I was like, I'm not gonna like it, but I really do like it. It's quite calming.
Right?
That
You know
music.
what? I never thought that I would like that game, and then I started playing it, and it's amazing. Shaline, you would love it.
I think so. I think I would probably get super addicted to Stardew.
You don't play it?
I don't play Stardew, no.
I'm surprised.
It's the only reason why I will buy a Switch is because it's gonna be on a Switch.
I think it would be a good Switch game. A very good Switch game.
Is it like basically a 2D farm sim?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much, but it's like farm sim. we should make a diet game and call it Farm Slim. Side
Done.
note,
P-H-A-R-M.
jot that one down. It's like Farm Sim meets Pokemon.
Pokemon. How
Like-
do you compare Pokemon?
To me, it felt like Pokemon on Game Boy. You
And
know,
also
like you're trudging
there-
through the bushes
There's
and stuff.
a dating sim aspect as well.
There is,
There
yes.
is.
You have to go to
You
the
have to-
Easter dance
Yeah, you like find a husband or wife.
Mhm.
or both.
Yeah, or both. Yeah, and they joke about it. So I haven't actually like completed a 4-year game or in the game, not 4 years of the game. And the mayor jokes about like you can get a divorce, but I don't know if you can actually do that in game.
Mhm. Cool.
Be
Yeah.
befitting.
Interesting.
But that's
Um,
it for me.
Cat and Bone says it sounds just like Harvest Moon, TBH. And actually, I think there was a very strong influence of Harvest Moon on.
Are they not the same creator?
Is it the same creator? It might be.
I think it's the same creator. Yeah.
Now that you say that, I think you're right.
I don't
yeah.
know.
I think it actually may be from the same creator.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So yes, you're absolutely.
Anything else on your game stack lately? Jeff?
That is it. Besides dumb little mobile games.
Yeah.
well,
talk
those matter too.
for
No,
dumb mobile. You're talking
It
to the
is.
Queen of Magikarp here. I mean,
I don't think it's the same devs.
I think it is. I think it is different.
Maybe they
And
just-
aren't they re-releasing?
Yeah, our
Moon?
Wikipedia down there is searching all the things.
Oh,
That's it.
Yeah.
You are our new scribe, Rick. We're gonna call you Wikipedia.
Hey. I'm not
like it.
no, I am not a scribe. I'm a grunt. I just did a quick Google search. Do not peg me as a scribe. I need to shoot things.
Nope, scribe.
Okay, you can find Milk of Human Kindness. It's okay.
Hey, I'm a little bit more intelligent than a brute. Yeah,
Strong
brute.
find milk, strong drink milk.
Oh,
Oh man.
Maria said, "Mad puns today. You should have heard the pun I did today. It was a stretch, but it was amazing." Someone said they tried to rent a Tahoe, and I said, "What about a short hoe?" That was the same reaction it got. It was
Oh,
so good. And I did the same thing. I cracked myself up. I've had a few drinks.
So Vendertron, what you been playing?
Well, since the last episode of Gamestack, Rickless and Reckless, which if you haven't watched, you should certainly check it out. We are certainly Rickless and we are most certainly reckless. But I haven't had much time to play much of anything, guys. And I've been studying for this crazy final, which I had today. It was from 12 until 4 p.m. So I literally finished writing it 2 hours ago. I am exhausted. But I am here. There is a podcast. We are good. But I did go back to the Stranger Things mobile game, which I went on about at some length in the last couple episodes. And if you guys don't remember and you haven't seen Stranger Things, you should definitely check it out because it just dropped October 27th. But I had an inkling, Shaline. Remember I was saying how I think that there's some foreshadowing in the mobile game about the new season?
Shh. I haven't started it yet.
I was right.
There will be no spoilers.
I was right. So I'm not going to say anything else. I will just leave it at that. But when you watch the season, go back to the game and you're going to be like, oh yeah, they totally like let those things in. So that was a really cool aspect. And I just wanted to comment on that. I did purchase and download Fallout 4 for PC and Fallout New Vegas for PC because there was an awesome Steam sale a couple weekends ago, 50% off. I think I picked up Fallout New Vegas for about $12, which was awesome.
Nice.
Worth the price.
Yeah, totally.
I wish you would have said you didn't have Fallout 4 for PC. I've got the PC copy that came with my Pip-Boy edition.
Oh.
Right.
Well, so
do our botched contest.
Yes, that was awful.
Well, maybe we could give that away again.
USA only this time.
So I've got this PC that I built a year ago, right? It's basically the Tesla of PCs right now. And I thought, I really need to play Fallout. All of the Fallouts on this PC because it's like night and day when you compare it to console. So I booted up Fallout New Vegas because I like to do things chronologically. And oh my God, what a difference. It's like remember how I've been harping about Fallout New Vegas Remastered and how I've been wanting it? Yeah, well, I don't need it anymore because it's basically Fallout Remastered.
Right? It's a huge difference.
Huge difference. It's great. So I decided that I was going to play a totally oblivious Wastelander. Not stupid, just oblivious. And so you got how you wake up in Doc Mitchell's house and you got to go to the vigor tester and set your stats up. Well, I went to the vigor tester. And I was like, yeah, perception. Oh yeah, we're gonna put that way down. And then I get out of the vigor tester, and Doc Mitchell's like, oh yeah, you need some glasses, eh? And I was like, what? Did you just say that? He's like, you're a little hard of seeing? It's all right, we'll fix you up. And I was like, wow, that's really random.
That's funny.
But when you play these games, Fallout New Vegas in particular, I never play them any different. Like I play them once through, maybe twice, but I always have kind of the same character. But this time I decided to change things up a bit, and it totally changes all the dialogue. It's really interesting how that works. So that's pretty much, I got around to playing Fallout New Vegas.
Fabulous.
Yeah. What about you, Shaline?
Well, I've done a lot of video games. I have some news for you guys. This is going to affect your lives.
Right,
I got the last achievement for Fallout Shelter.
Whoa, that's impressive.
So you won't have to hear the Fallout Shelter noise every time that you're on a call with me now. Yeah, I finally did it, guys. Longtime listeners will know that I have gotten every achievement for every Fallout game that has achievements, and Fallout Shelter was hands down the hardest one, guys. It was easily the hardest one.
Huh.
That Legendary Dweller one was the last one that I got. Get 20 Legendary Dwellers in your vault. And it was downright predatory. The Legendary Dwellers are only available via lunchboxes. And in the late game, there are so few opportunities to earn lunchboxes without paying for them. And that said, the dwellers are really rare. Even when you do get a lunchbox, you only get like one dweller every 50 lunchboxes or something. And there should have been a way to earn dwellers outside of lunchboxes through time invested in the game. You know, like there is a way to earn pretty much everything else. And I did buy a pack of lunchboxes on sale, and I got super lucky. I got 6 dwellers in one pack of 40 lunchboxes.
Whoa.
I still haven't opened the last 7 lunchboxes in the pack.
Oh my
Like-
god, you should open it right
It's
now.
incredibly. You want to open them now?
Yes, I want to open them
Okay.
right now. You can't just leave us hanging.
But this was. Do you really want to?
Yes, I do.
Oh, seriously?
Go for it.
Okay, we're gonna open these lunchboxes.
This episode could not be any more
Yes.
This is like real life.
astray.
Like,
But while I worked really hard for these Fallout Shelter achievements, that one achievement sort of tainted the satisfying feeling for me, you know, like because I did buy that pack of lunchboxes, and it just, you know, it's not the same.
And she's just got to like check everything before we get to the
Yeah.
actual.
Well, let's don't do that. It would take me a long time to do vault management. So we're just gonna open these boxes. I have 7 left.
This is like a normal phone call or a Zoom
Yes.
call we've had with Shaline. It's just in the background we hear like
Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da.
Every single call that
Time.
these guys have had with me, every single one for the last, I don't know, year, they've had to deal with these noises in the background.
Yeah.
Okay, that one was a bunch of garbage.
womp.
So we've
Okay.
gone through from
A
an episode.
librarian outfit. I love it.
did
I
you
think-
literally get garbage?
In a
actually,
lunchbox?
literal garbage. Yeah, there was an old baseball glove. Bitter Cup's outfit. That's great.
Oh, that's cute. Okay.
Nice.
And
Surgeon outfit, duct tape, some caps, food, and a flamer. A business suit, water, caps, Brahmin hide, and some more caps. These have been kind of duds so far. Bitter Cup's outfit is
oh, maybe we jinxed
a
it.
good outfit. Some caps, battle armor, a military circuit board, literal trash, Radaway, caps. Yeah, I think you guys put
Maybe you should stop. Stop. Don't go any
We
further.
gotta do it now. We gotta get through it.
Oh no.
Watch. Ooh, some Nuka Quantums. 6 Nuka Quantums.
I like that little jingle.
And
I'm
I've-
enjoying the sound effects, honestly.
Yeah.
I love the shelter
Keep
sounds.
going.
I think they're so good. And
did a good job.
honestly, some of the quest writing in Fallout Shelter is hands down better than the quest writing in Fallout 4.
It did turn into a lunchbox party. I also have my lunchbox here, guys.
Okay,
Just-
guys, that was like a bust. The best thing we got was Bitter Cup's outfit, which I am going to put on one of the dwellers. Let's
Me.
go ahead. I don't think we can. You can't just
Aw.
swap the outfits. I could put it on Jess though. Isn't there a Jess dweller?
So that's the end of the show. Thank you all for coming.
Goodbye.
Shalene's just
That
gonna
didn't work
play
so
some
well.
Fallout, and Jess,
I don't know,
thanks for
guys.
coming.
Oh, there's the Jess dweller. Okay.
Yay!
Except I can't find it. There she is.
Oh, am I dead? Oh, I'm not
Currently
dead.
wearing a pretty dress. And I'm going to
Aw.
put you in Bitter Cup's outfit. There you are, looking fab. Bitter
Like a
Cup's outfit.
little
Look at those abs.
Let's pray break.
Fantastic.
Ooh, abs. What?
Okay, guys.
This is so off the beaten path.
Wow. Now, if there's any of you left, guys, if there's any of you left,
We've
This has
actually
certainly
gained
become
viewers.
unstacked.
how is that possible? But I'm very glad that I finished those achievements. I feel really good about it. I do wish that Bethesda would never ever make such a predatory achievement again, though. PUBG is life. I'm playing PUBG like at least once a week with you guys, and sometimes on my own.
You're
I
welcome.
love PUBG. It's so good.
You're welcome.
Bendercon is right. The Stranger Things mobile game is amazeballs. I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's really good. Really good. Those owls can jump in the lake though. I
Oh,
hate
those
the
owls. I hate the owls.
They're
You know
rough.
what? When you get what's her face?
Oh, what's her face?
What's with the bat?
Yeah.
I'm blanking right now. What's
I
her name?
went to go save her. I'm partway there. I just
Yeah.
came back with the suit from the morgue.
She's one of the most versatile characters.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I still only have Hopper and Lucas. So.
I am not done. I still haven't gotten 11.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, but I finished the main storyline, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe I need to go back and do different achievements or something, but...
Yeah. Well, it's really good, and I also recommend it. I would just like to add my own endorsement to Vendertron's endorsement of the Stranger Things mobile game.
I guess I should try it.
And you should play it. If you like old school gaming, you will like this.
Oh, yeah, Rick, you'd love it. Jess, have you played it? Are you familiar with Stranger Things?
I am sad to say I don't like Stranger Things.
Oh, is
I
it too
was
scary? Is that why?
No, I didn't like it from the first season. Like when it went one way in it, I was like, I'm done. I always feel like it's a cop out.
Oh, well, maybe you'll like the game. The game is good.
Will I still enjoy it if I'm not if
I don't know
what's going on though?
What didn't you like
Yeah,
about
of course.
Stranger Things season 1?
I didn't like the route it went and with stuff. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone that hasn't
It's
seen it,
season
so.
1.
Well,
I didn't. I was done by like a few episodes in, and I'm one of those people like I'll try it out.
that's totally fair. You know,
I was just curious, but I'm just surprised that don't be afraid to spoil season 1. I mean, that's like people's fault they haven't seen it yet. It's only been out for like a year and a half.
Oh man, Bones
What
in
do
chat
you-
says to spoil
What
it.
am I looking at?
Oh, Bones, I don't think there is a Bones Dweller. I'm gonna have to make
Canadian
one.
maple.
This is
Yeah.
my maple flavored chapstick, just so you know.
Maple chapstick, huh?
It's amazing.
If you're Canadian,
So are
do you
we
have
still-
to use that?
Yeah, it's prerequisite.
Why is Cortana searching for stuff on my PC here? Stop!
Here you go, guys. There you go.
Oh goodness.
Oh,
Got
you know what I love about the mobile game is the
I'll start that
sounds. I
later.
love the sound effects. I love
Yes,
the music.
Music is really good.
Mhm.
It's really good.
I'll start that later.
So are we still talking about Stranger Things, or shall I move on?
No, let's move on.
Let's
Okay.
talk about Stranger Things.
Assassin's Creed Origins.
Not
This
Stranger
game
Things.
is really beautiful. I may never finish because I'll just be looking at the bas reliefs and comparing the statuary to all of my my Egyptian history books.
So somebody who listens to the show posted a picture on Twitter of the pyramids in the background, and it was amazing. And I totally want to play this game, but I don't have time.
Oh, it's so beautiful. So beautiful. I'm a very big fan of Assassin's Creed Origins so far. Combat is very different than in previous Assassin's Creed games. And I actually had to remap the controls to the second control option, which is more similar to the old Assassin's Creed controls. I could not handle having the right bumper as the attack button in like a melee combat game.
That's
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
My
that's
brain was,
strange.
like, shorting out. It's hard enough to use the bumper as a trigger on PlayStation, you know.
Mhm. That muscle memory.
But using it in a game like this where you're attacking with a sword was just it like fried my brain. Like it was
So can I ask the question that everybody wants to ask?
uh-huh.
Did you go on the museum tour?
The museum tour is not available yet.
Oh,
Ah.
no.
No, it's not available yet. But as
Oh.
soon as it is available, I will be spending all my time on the museum tour. It's going to be fabulous.
And you're gonna stream it.
Yeah,
Yes,
we totally
can
need to do
stream
it.
We're
Let's
going to go
play.
together on the museum tour. It's
Yeah.
gonna be great. Rick, you don't have to go.
I'll watch.
You can hang back in the lobby. It's fine.
I just think it's
You can
fun.
go out and do something else. Assassin's Creed Origins does not hold your hand. It's got some challenge even on the medium difficulty. And I really dig Bayek. He's the first Assassin's Creed protagonist that I have cared about since Ezio. And it's really nice to like the main character in a game that I'm playing. I really like that. I that was part of what drew me to Assassin's Creed was how much I enjoyed hanging out with Ezio, and I feel much the same way about Bayek. It's a great spectator game. My mom was interested in this one, so she took the controller And oh gosh, it was such a disaster. It was so
Really?
fun.
Oh, you need to tell us about this.
She went camel bowling for peasants, right? She gets on the camel and just starts throwing the camel at peasants in the street. Like, the funniest thing, she was knocking them down and just laughing like a madman. It was so funny.
That's good.
But I'm having great fun playing this game. Really enjoy it. I'm probably going to play it for many more hours. Now it's time for the gripes. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
The menu has like a cursor that you control with the analog stick, which is
What?
horrible menu design. Like,
Yeah.
you know how you would move your mouse, on the menu in a PC version of the game?
Mhm.
Well, it's the same functionality except with an analog stick, which is horrible. And I feel like that's a lazy decision that they couldn't make the menu work with like the D-pad.
Well,
Like,
they'll push an update.
there are better ways to do menus, and that's horrible. And for shame, Ubisoft. For shame that you released the game.
Mousetrap.
Okay.
Hate it.
Mousetrap in chat. He did his. I misspelled menus, and he's like, I hate
Oh,
those
that's
types of
lovely.
emus.
Emus.
I hate those types of emus as well. Fun fact, my
love it.
godmother was on America's Funniest Home Videos with a video of dancing emus.
What? I need
Did
to
she
look
win?
this
Why
up.
not?
I think she did win. I think she went to one of those shows where they would have the winners of all the shows.
Are we talking like post Bob Saget or?
It was in the Bob
Great.
Saget era. Yeah.
Ah, that's
Wow.
And it was a
amazing.
big deal to be on America's Funniest Home Videos. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know
she
what?
raised
Wow.
emus for a long time.
One of my favorite family pastimes. We would gather around the TV and watch America's Funniest Home Videos.
Mhm.
And we were
With your rabbit
Canadians.
ears?
I was gonna say, do they have a Canada's Funniest?
Canadians. You totally just Americanized the whole thing. No, we never had that. No.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So guys, I'm gonna
what's
take it down a little bit now because there is one very big problem that I had with Assassin's Creed Origins,
Okay.
and I'm sure this isn't a problem that anyone else
Oh.
had, but it was
Canada
for me. It was something that really bothered me. There's very early on. This is a spoiler for like the first minute of the game. I think it's before you even take control of the character. There's this scene where Bayek kills a dude, and then he carves the man's tattooed name off of his arm with a knife.
Huh?
And I found this really troubling. I have been very close friends with a lot of people who have their arms and legs covered in self-inflicted scars. And I sort of feel like the gamer population might be a little more susceptible than some people to have experience with mental health issues, including self-harm. And I felt like this was a really, it was a problem for me. Hellblade is probably my game of the year so far. I loved
Mhm.
Hellblade.
Absolutely.
And I think about this game almost every day. But there is a very difficult scene to watch in which Senua harms herself, but it's portrayed as the act of a troubled woman. And it's clearly something that she shouldn't have done, something horrifying and sad. And in contrast, when Bayek does it, he looks like a total badass. He looks really cool. And I know there is a narrative reason for why he does this, but I thought it was thoughtless and insensitive to glorify this act. And it surprised me coming from Ubisoft, who is so proud of their thoughtfulness and diversity when creating games. You know, they at the beginning of every Assassin's Creed game, it says this game was created by a multicultural team, you know, with various backgrounds and gender identities, et cetera, et cetera. And I felt like this was an oversight. And maybe this isn't something that would bother other people, but I don't know. If I'm in rural New Mexico and I have many friends who have experience with cutting, and then I think it's got to be a common thing, you know.
Mhm.
And I feel like this was a thoughtless choice on their part.
Well,
And
and I think it goes back to all the times that we've talked about mental health
yeah,
on every other show that we've ever done, and it's such a full topic in the gaming community.
yeah.
And yeah, that's definitely an oversight.
I definitely, it hasn't ruined the game for me by any means, but it was something that bothered me. And I just wanted to, I felt like something like that, like I sort of had a responsibility to use my platform to talk about it. So I did.
Oh, thanks for sharing.
Let's bring it back up.
Oh, Rick's got something to say.
No, no. I'm not doubting that at all. I'm just because I haven't played the game. There was just something I was thinking about that. The fine line between, offending people and the art of storytelling. Like the character, like when does, like you said in Heavy, was it Heavy Blade?
Hellblade.
Like, Hellblade. I get Heavy Rain, whatever. Like, did it bother you in that game? The same way it bothered you in
me
Origin?
very much, but it was plainly, it was not like this.
Well, and I'd like to reiterate that Hellblade, the purpose of Hellblade was to portray the character in a way that shared the mental health experiences that people actually have.
Right.
And so that was the purpose of the game.
It was plainly, the product of her mental illness, and it wasn't a mental illness thing for Bayek in Assassin's Creed. It was not there was a narrative reason.
Well,
he just looked so darn cool. He just looked so darn cool that
Archon brings up a point that self-mutilation was more common as a spiritual thing, and I haven't played the game. I'm just saying, not in context of Assassin's Creed, but I wonder if there is a point to it later on. You know what I mean? Like, or if it was just an arbitrary, like, oh, I'm a crazy psycho man, I carve names in myself, like for like the sense of just being like button pushy. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm curious if it comes back later on in the game where it actually has a point to it. But I don't I don't know. I'm just thinking about like if the character, I guess I don't know. I haven't played the game. I was just thinking about Heavy Blade, and that character was written to have those issues, and it wasn't glorifying them. It was more bringing a light to the problem. Versus Assassin's Creed sounds more like it was just added to be a shock point.
And noted, like, it wasn't a mental health issue when Bayek does it. There's a narrative reason behind him doing this. But it just,
was it religious?
I thought, no, it was not ceremonial or symbolic. Well, it was kind of, but he used to serve these people and now he doesn't. So
see, that's a little strange. I feel like, crossing their name off the list and putting lipstick on would be more of an appropriate hit list cross off.
Having personal experience with friends that have to wear long sleeves all the time and who, just get super uncomfortable with you. Like, it just bothered me. That's all.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out that I felt like that was maybe something that they did.
That does sound like an oversight.
A large population of people. That would be a trigger.
I wouldn't be surprised if they get some criticism for that.
Yeah, that does sound like an oversight. If it's not something that had context to it other than just a self-vendetta situation.
Yeah. And maybe I'm the only one who had a problem with this, and honestly I hope I am. But I just wanted to share that thought with you guys. I wanted to bring the bad as well as the good.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I think it's time to bring it back up a little bit. Let's talk about Super Mario Odyssey.
Talk about a Switch, but
that was a good one, Rick.
Wow, that was really good.
You're on tonight. That was your A game. Your A game.
We're gonna give you a promotion. We're promoting you to band manager.
Band manager, great.
Super Mario Odyssey. It is a charming and delightful little game. It speaks to the joy I remember in the Mario games of my youth. I love this race of sentient hats and their kingdom. Surprise, surprise, right?
Of course.
I think it's really funny that this game is just basically about Bowser trying to plan a classy, elegant wedding. That's what the whole game is about. Mario getting in Bowser's way, and he's too busy for this. He's planning a wedding. And I love Wedding Bowser. I actually went out and snapped up the Wedding Bowser amiibo.
Oh my goodness.
The lovely pearlescent sheen on his tusk.
Yes,
So
I
Oh,
love
it's
it.
gorgeous,
I love it.
right? He's got that little hat band. It looks so good. I'm a big fan of Wedding Bowser. Bowser is getting married to Peach, of course, very much against her will. So that's marriage in quotes.
So I got all a little upset there for a second. So I'm like, how dare Mario be a little jerk and get all in Bowser's way of his wedding? But yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's a forcible wedding to Peach.
It's arranged.
Yes. And Bowser has put up posters all over the universe of advertising his wedding, and in all of the pictures, Peach is like tucked under his arm and she's reaching out doing that "Help me, Mario."
Oh, that's so
I
cute.
think it's so funny. It's so funny. And there is a lot of detail and lovely little fun surprises in this game. I totally understand why people are giving it a 10 out of 10. Trouble is, all those people are wrong that are giving the game a 10 out of 10.
What?
This game is joyful and fun, and I love it, and I'm going to spend many hours with it. But it is far from being one of the best games this year.
Oh,
The
plot
camera is
twist.
functionally very bad. I like that they captured the feeling of Super Mario 64, but that's a bit of fidelity they could have left out. It's not great to play with a camera from 12 years ago. Jumping in 3D is not necessarily a very easy or fun thing to do, turns out. They push the motion controls way too hard. It works sometimes very well, even with the Pro controller. But if handheld mode is an option, with your Joy-Con attached to your Switch, then it should be possible to do everything in handheld mode. They shouldn't push the motion controls so hard. Is this a game that you should play? Yes. This is a fun game. I love it. I'm going to play it a lot. I wish I was playing it right now. I'm just going to jump off the podcast and go play Super Mario Hat Simulator. Is it the game of the year? Not even by half. It's not even the Switch game of the year, in my opinion. Maybe in a lesser year, but 2017 has been such a special year for games. It's been such a good year for games.
What is the Switch game of the year, though? Because they've released like 16,000 games,
And
It's
half
Stardew
are
Valley.
remakes.
and
It's like-
half of them are like other versions of something else.
I swear, if Skyrim for the Switch
It's gonna happen.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna happen. This is what I've been talking about. I would love to play my PS4 games on the Switch.
I was not going to buy Skyrim on Switch. I had talked myself out of it. But then when I went on this work trip this week, I kept thinking, man, I wish I had Skyrim.
No, I just mean I can see, like, if they're like game of the year goes to Skyrim for the Switch. Herp, derp, derpty herp.
That's so funny.
I
But
do-
I just want to say that it's not that often like I feel something was made just for me. But this week I got an open world RPG set in ancient Egypt and a cute platformer about finding the best hats. So
That does sound like the game world's catering to usually.
Captain Bones in the chat says, "Does anybody else find it funny that she keeps getting caught by Bowser? So like, why is she always hanging out with Bowser? When things go south, does she call
When will-
Mario for help?
Just when will Mario get the hint?
What's the real story behind this relationship?"
I've
man.
hidden in 12 different castles, Mario, and you keep finding me. Go away.
I love that. But really, like, I honestly look at this guy. Look at Wedding Bowser.
Yeah, what do they call that? Is it
dapper.
what is that? Stockholm syndrome?
He's so dapper. I think we should give him a chance. I really do.
Helsinki
man.
syndrome. I was just thinking, like, I don't know if I would ever be a game franchise in the Mario universe, because I think I would have given up around the third time. Like Super Mario World 3 again. That's what it should have been called.
Yeah. Well,
one of these
sometimes
days,
I feel like games really should be that quirky.
I mean, they never will be because they won't sell. But I think that they should make the next Mario, about Peach saving Mario from like.
You know what? I recently found out that that was a thing. I was having a little chat with Andrew, our buddy from the Fallout feed, and he said that there is a DS game called Super Princess Peach in which
Oh,
rescues Mario and Luigi. So I need to acquire and play this game.
I just feel like, if Bowser was actually intelligent, he would take Mario away and then go for Peach. Because then Mario wouldn't rescue her. Unless, wait a minute, guys, unless Bowser's really in love with Mario.
Oh, and this is just his excuse to be near Mario?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Step aside, Peach.
Wow. What if the plot twist at the end of Mario Odyssey is that Mario and Bowser get married?
Yeah. Step aside. Step aside, Peach. You're not fuzzy
I
enough.
would love that. I would just love that. That would be so great. So, Rick, what you been playing?
I have been playing PUBG. Go figure. I think we all got on that train. I actually haven't played third person in a long time until we played the other night. And
it's better.
I was like, I'm gonna play third person solo, and I tend to be a little bit better in that because I think I have peripheral vision, which is useful in life. And I actually got some really nice kills. I shot somebody who was trying to run me over. I got a headshot there. I hit someone with iron sights really far away, which is kind of difficult because optics are like primo in that game.
Oh man!
And got a couple more kills, just from being able to see better, I think. But it's just really fun either in first person or third person. But I think I tend to lean more towards third person now.
Huh? I'm gonna have to try that.
Wow.
Yeah, your advantage is their advantage, So we played that the other night, man.
Yeah, but I wasn't in third person.
Oh, that's right. You hit. Yeah, you should definitely do that.
Because I'm all about the first person.
It is fun in first person. It's a completely different feel. It's a lot more fear based because you can't see very well. But again, it's like walking around, the world in horse blinders. You just can't see.
So for me, there's the only game that I play third person is Grand Theft Auto. I don't know why. That's the only game that I play third person. Is there something like that for you guys? Like, do you play first person in all games except only a couple, or vice versa?
I never play third person in the Fallout games at all, or Skyrim either, or I should say Outer Scrolls. It's always first person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same.
But to be fair, the Bethesda third person is pretty terrible.
It is very bad. I will say, yeah. So ESO is not a bad third person. That's not too bad. Mainly with me, the third person stuff just doesn't, especially with Melee, it doesn't feel like it impacts very much. Like there's just not the same thwacking, I guess.
Yeah, you want to feel the blood splash your face.
Exactly. And so yeah, I mean, there's that. But with PUBG, I don't know what it is. Their field of vision on their first person shooter, it's just I don't feel like it's as good. Where for some reason in third person, I feel like I can see farther. And that happens so much to me in first-person PUBG is I'll die from a sniper and I have no clue where they are. But in third person, I feel like I can see people better.
I could totally understand that.
I don't know why, but it is nice. Now, you do have the option to go first person in the third-person servers. And if you, again, okay, so my biggest gripe with PUBG is when you right-click, just right-click hold, that's usually pulls up, iron sights for most games. This one does hip aim, and you have to double-click and then hold the mouse to bring up iron sights, and it's total BS.
I haven't got that far yet.
Total. It's stupid. It's dumb. You should be able to change it so it's like when I click the mouse button, iron sights.
There are many things about PUBG but it's open access, early access.
It's the only one. But so there's a couple things, but I tend to like third person a bit better. So I was playing that a little bit, but what I've mostly been playing has been Guild Wars 2, their Mad King Thorn Festival, which is basically their Halloween.
Guild Wars is like your arc, huh? Guild Wars is your arc.
Yes, it is. It's very in depth. It's fun. but the Halloween celebration is going on, and like there's they call it the Mad King's Labyrinth. It's basically a maze that's full of haunted doors that you can open up, and a lot of enemies come out or big bosses come out and fight you, and that's a lot of fun. But you kind of have to have like a Zerg group to like run around and just murder kill all these things, or else you can't solo some of these bosses in that game.
Yeah.
So you got to have a group with you who's working together. So I like running around there, and you collect candy corn, which is the Mad King repellent, and you can also sell it for a lot of in-game currency, which is really nice. So I'll run around there and get a bunch of money, and it's just a fun. I love MMOs and that sort of thing that have like festivals and stuff based on seasons. It just adds a nice immersiveness to the world. And so I've been playing that, and then I've been playing a secret unreleased game on my mobile phone, which is pretty darn cool. And we'll talk about that when it's finally released. But
Very fun.
yeah, it's not
Ooh.
bad. It's really fun. And we'll talk about that a little later. But just put that little bug in your ear. Stay tuned. I've got a game to talk about when it finally releases. But and Mousetrap in the chat asks when I'm going to pick up World War II. And the answer is when it goes on sale for $3. So,
Crickets.
Yeah, war games, thing of the past.
no, I want to like Call of Duty World War II, but when I played the open beta, it just was not. It just I don't know.
Tumbleweeds in Shaline's town are more interesting.
No, it's
Oh,
no, I wanted realism, and I forgot it's Call of Duty, and it's never real. But
Did I tell you
will
guys?
pick it up later.
Did I tell you guys that I saw my first tumbleweed the other day?
Yeah.
I've never seen one.
Yeah, we actually have tumbleweeds here.
I'm gonna mail you one.
They are far and few between, but I saw one the other day. It was frozen, but
is it in your freezer?
Of course.
no, I don't have to put it in the freezer. It's just frozen outside.
That's great. Rick, I'm gonna mail you a tumbleweed for Christmas.
Oh,
Oh, that'll be
can
a
you
great gift.
imagine trying to mail that thing?
I'll open up the box, it'll blow away.
You'll have a genuine experience. It'll be amazing.
I love it.
Oh, that's good. Whew.
Bender, do you want to roll into our Gamestack challenge?
Oh gosh, I'm just trying to get it together here. Okay, let's roll into our game stack challenge, guys. We've got all kinds of awesome games, challenges coming this week.
Spooky screenshots for Halloween.
So here we go. Here is our first one, and this one is Shaline's.
Surprise, surprise. It's a Duskull that I caught on the Pokemon Go Halloween event. I had a lot of fun catching all those spooky Pokemon.
Yeah. And sorry, we also have this one who comes to us from
Kevin Keel and Justin Rash. They were playing ESO together, so they did a joint challenge and sent us some fun screenshots from their Halloween party.
Fantastic. That looks super scary.
Yeah.
And this one is from Archin. He says, here's my GameStack challenge submission. A little scary, a little memory of The Fallen, which looks like it's from, what is that
That's
from?
great.
That's
Probably Dead Space 2, actually.
Yes, I was gonna think.
But
That's
this
what I
is
thought.
from... I'm sorry, Rick. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask what game that was from. That's all.
Yeah, Dead Space 2, I think. Might be Dead Space 1, but I think it's Dead Space 2. But, of course, in honor of Visceral, who was recently dissolved by EA.
That's the truly scary thing in this.
Yeah.
And the next one is from Captain Bones. He says, the Psycho of Los Santos marks his return.
Yes, he's got a fabulous screenshot of his GTA Online character. He always looks like he's having so much fun. And also note the incorrect hashtag. What is the correct hashtag, Bendertron?
The correct hashtag is GameStack Challenge.
We love you anyway, Bones.
Mm-hmm. Good try.
Nice. He looks like our failed attempts at doing something scary for Halloween or Christmas on Fallout OTR.
The next one comes from Mousetrap.
Oh.
He says, Spoopy! GameStack
Yeah.
Challenge, We Just Love Games, which is your classic Fallout 4 screenshot. Somebody dead on the floor.
Skeleton wearing the Vault 111 vault suit.
Yeah, fantastic. And this one comes from Bree. This is actually an awesome photo from Assassin's Creed Origins, which looks like she's in a tomb there. Very, very spooky. Lots of cobwebs and things like that. Thank you for sending that in, Bree. And this one is from Whitney Garrett. He says, "What's more spooky than human sacrifice?" And it is a picture of the Shrouded Isle. Do we know? Are we familiar with this game?
I'm not familiar.
No idea.
It looks pretty cool.
And the next one, Shaline, you want to take this?
Sean Cullen, at Sean Aiken on Twitter. Spooky, creepy, eh? Here's Keeg with Nick wearing the Grognak costume while visiting the wife. Now, he is, of course, referring to his Inro Keeg homage character in Fallout 4, who is visiting, of course, the corpse of Nora with Nick Valentine. So, R.I.P. Nora. And this one is from Maria, who has submitted my favorite challenge of the week.
Okay, I need to zoom in on this somehow.
Yes, please do.
This is a Resident Evil 7 screenshot with a scary guy going by the door. And she has used some insane artistic ability to put in little us, actually. There's a little Vendertron with little stick figure legs.
Oh my gosh.
And an Ark Survival Evolved shirt.
I love that Rick has a gun and a grenade. And look at Shalene's legs. Shaline, you've got some great legs.
I know, right? And Rick is wearing a holy hand grenade shirt.
1, 2, 5.
And I am hiding in the corner with my great legs, wearing a shirt that I actually own IRL, that has Paladin Dance and Elder Maxon on it, and it says, "I joined the Brotherhood of Steel for the hot guys and free power armor."
Shalene's doing a little booty shake for that zombie in the background.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And this one is mine. I didn't.
Scary.
I didn't have time to submit a challenge photo, so I thought I would submit a picture of my adorable niece. She was a unicorn.
That was so cute, Vendertron. She's adorable.
And that is our challenge photos for this fortnight. And I don't know if we've got a new challenge lined up. Do we, guys?
No, we didn't prepare one.
Well, I'm sure we could think of one on the fly.
That's the challenge.
Let's see.
Come up with a challenge.
The challenge is to come up with future challenges for us.
Guys, we want you to do our job.
That's a great idea, Shaline.
Yeah.
So send us your future challenge.
Challenge ideas. You can send those via Twitter using the hashtag GameStackChallenge or via email info@WeJustLoveGames.
And this has nothing to do with our lack of the ability to come up with our own by any stretch. This is
not at all.
We just want to cater to our listeners.
Nothing to do with that.
We want you to get involved with the show.
Exactly. Exactly. There's no other reason whatsoever. So, moving on
to our most important segment of this evening.
Oh my.
Yes. No pressure.
Oh my.
Tell us about TwitchCon, Jess.
Just don't screw it up.
Okay. I didn't go. No, I'm just kidding. TwitchCon. Well, so for people that have never been, this was my first time going, but online they say it's a celebration of all things Twitch, from the streamers and their communities to the developers who make the games we love. At TwitchCon, we will gather to learn and play together. Basically, in all honesty, for me it was really just an opportunity to meet people. Meet the people that you're in chat with, and meet the streamers you watch. There was a lot of things going on this year. It was in Long Beach, California, and previously it had been. That
sounds amazing.
Okay, well, see, that's the thing. Here's the thing.
Okay.
So this was my first TwitchCon. So there was a guy on, I think it's streamernews.tv, and was like, hey, if you've never been to one of these, like, here's some stuff you should just know. Like, don't leave your drinks around. People can, drug you, because apparently that's happened in the past.
What? Well, wait a minute. Didn't somebody go missing last year at TwitchCon?
That wasn't TwitchCon. That was something else, wasn't it?
She just went out for some fun times.
Yeah, no one could find her.
What's wrong with her?
She
all
just
over
disappeared.
Oh,
Turned off her phone and went for a couple days in Vegas. And
Yeah.
She wanted to like detox or something.
Mhm.
It just
So you go to Vegas for a detox, right?
No, like digitally, but that just goes to show like you just unplug from the internet, and all of a sudden it's like, well, I guess they must not exist. They're
Must
not
have
on.
died. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it was
I mean, it
E3.
makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, that's what it was, E3.
So what were your first impressions?
Well, so before I went, this guy posted this like common sense security at conventions thing, right? And so one of the top things he says, Long Beach is one of the top 13% most dangerous cities to live in.
Oh goodness.
Well, that's comforting.
That it has a 26% higher crime rate than the average national crime rate.
America.
So I was like, that's great. And then he had this map on there. And then pretty much if you were right where the convention center was, and then you kind of went out, a couple streets out, they're like, don't go there because you'll get mugged.
That's like any city, though.
What?
Well-
This isn't Mexico.
No, but this is
Like,
America. It's
You
worse.
can leave the resort in Long Beach.
Well, it was kind of like, because you do a lot of walking, but there were areas that you could be on one street and it's fine, and then you go over one more street and it's like, I shouldn't have walked down this street. But getting there, Long Beach was really pretty. I really enjoyed the weather. Their big convention center that they had there had all kinds of like TwitchCon, and they lit it up purple. A problem with it was I feel that they had too many. It was a lot bigger than they expected, and the venue that they had was a lot smaller. So on Twitter, you would hear a lot of things about LineCon, because you were literally standing in lines all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember even at the keynote, I was standing in line to get into the building to go watch the keynote, and the keynote started. So I was literally watching Twitch on my phone, standing outside to get in line to watch the keynote.
That is terrible. That's like for me, I have to stand in line with coffee to get coffee in the morning. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean that's how it felt. That was super disappointing. I feel like things were very disorganized, and I don't know if it's because of the venue size or I don't know.
Joseph Tao in the chat says Long Beach is known in LA and California for some gang activity, so the warning isn't really that wrong.
No,
See?
he's definitely right. Archon said Rick is right with the whole dangerous to Mexico. I wanted to point out that America is a very dangerous place, but we tend to have the everything is awesome soundtrack all the
Yes.
time playing.
Everything, it's like the land of opportunity, but everybody wants to like carry. Anyways, yeah. So, what were the so those were your first impressions? Yes.
I mean, yeah. It was just I came in a day early just so I could get my badge, and like there's no signage anywhere. You would end up walking one way on the building, and it was totally opposite. So, going in, I was like, well, I went with no expectation because that's the best way to just not be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was a mess, and I've
that's
heard
too
from other
bad.
people, because I think the year before that it was in San Diego, which is a great spot for it. They had the space, they had the right size buildings, and before that it was in Anaheim. So, and they do keep it in California because you can't actually volunteer for it. They actually, all their Twitch employees are the people, security and getting people places and stuff. So,
Well, you know what? San Diego is. I've been to San Diego for conferences. It is the best place for a conference in the U.S. In my opinion. Yeah.
Beautiful weather.
Beautiful weather. They always have the right size venue for what you need. Very clean. It's a very clean city.
Why
I didn't
is
feel
it
that way.
Why is it that like California is like you guys are gonna live right along beautiful coastline with like awesome cliffs. Route 1 is a joy to drive, and the weather is gonna be like primo. off chance majorly deadly earthquakes, but the weather is awesome. It's like
There's always a caveat to every place that you live in, Rick. I mean, it's beautiful.
No.
It's beautiful here, but you'll freeze to death if you go outside. So
the Northeast, where I'm around, is fine. There's nothing. We don't get forest fires. We don't get tornadoes. We don't get hurricanes.
Don't you get like 8?
You get hurricanes?
We had like one hurricane in like the last 10 years that did any sort of amount of damage. I think it was Sandy. We had one earthquake. I think it knocked over a folding chair.
And it was all over the news.
And I think too that like our snows are like we get 4 feet and everybody's like so I mean like it's not like it's nothing up here except it's kind of boring.
Well, I'd rather live somewhere interesting and risk a forest fire.
You do.
So
Jess, Bones asks the
Archon.
same question that I ask. Who are some of the coolest streamers that you ran into?
So standing outside, there's like this car come in, it has the suicide, the doors and all that, and I'm like, who the heck is this person? And this person gets out super tall, and I'm like, what's going on? It was at that moment that I realized that I know absolutely nothing about streamers and Twitch and who's famous and but it was Dr. Disrespect, who's a big streamer.
He showed up in a Lamborghini,
like PUBG. Yeah.
That's
I mean, it was like hoopla, and people were surrounding the whole thing. I was like, what celebrities here? And
I wonder if that Lamborghini was owned by Twitch.
I didn't see Twitch's logo on it.
Or if it was maybe it was a rental.
Could you imagine?
I just feel like streamers are not that big of a deal.
I'm in the same place as you.
Like how do you show up to a conference in a Lamborghini? Come on.
But people crowded around him.
Some people that stream Vendertron, they can afford to show up to TwitchCon in a Lamborghini. Like we stream on Twitch and like we work 3 jobs. And so you're seeing it from that perspective. But people who do well and monetize and succeed can show up to TwitchCon in a Lamborghini.
I think that key word there, succeed.
If people are willing to pay, why is it a big deal? Within reason, if people are willing to pay for something, I mean, then, more. I said within reason.
No, Captain Bones in the chat says Shaline will show up in her Toyota.
I drive a Ford. Thank you very much.
Get it straight.
By American.
That's good. That's good.
Actually, all the parts were made in Mexico, and it was assembled in Germany.
Yeah.
So.
Nice. The other big streamers, I mean, there was like Soda Pop. I don't watch really big streamers, but like Summit G was there, who does he was a competitor in first-person shooters, and he's been doing PUBG a lot. And Munition. I didn't really go because again, I have that same sentiment as Vendertron, where I mean, they have these meet and greets, and so there's like a huge long line, and it's like, I don't know, I'm gonna get a signature from some guy. Like, what am I gonna do with that?
Right.
So yeah. I didn't the whole meet and greet thing I didn't go to, but they had a variety of types of streamers. They had, your partnered streamers, of course, that maybe have, in the 500 or maybe 100. But again, I feel like it's more of a thing for the community. You get to meet that streamer in person. You get to get their swag that they give out. But they definitely had, certain projects, I guess, for, those bigger streamers. And they had all kinds of different like charity streams going on. And you actually got to see all these kind of different streamers together, all playing against each other, which was pretty cool. To see them kind of,
That's
get rid of
cool.
those boundaries. And you're seeing, people that play Pokemon with people that are with PUBG, and you've got your creative artists, so it was really neat to kind of see that intermingle.
Did you play any video games on the floor while you were there?
I played like old school arcade game. Does that count? They had a bunch of old like arcade games, like Area 51.
Oh,
I
I like how
It's-
that's considered old school.
Well, it is like they've got what else do they have?
Old school to me is like
It's Street Fighter.
Golden Axe.
Centipede.
Golden Axe.
Love that game.
They had like Pac-Man, Frogger, like old Frogger machine. So it was kind of cool, and they had a huge library of games that you could just play, like tabletop games that you could play. So I thought that was pretty cool. But literally there was not enough time just between running around, going to different things, to sit down and do that. But again, I think if I was to go again, I would definitely kind of carve out time to experience more of the stuff. It was just very overwhelming, I think, going into the main showroom, the expo hall, because it was a smaller area, but there was just so much going on.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it was kind of.
So what was your highlight? What was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment. One of the really cool things that Twitch does is the PJ Salt competition, and it's one of their emotes that they have. But basically, they take gamers and they just challenge them. They don't let them know what game they're all going to be playing against each other. It's usually indie games. They could be like platformers, and they just throw them at them, and then you have a final winner. And I'm not being biased because my friend won, but this year they pulled out 90s games, and they actually weren't video games. They were they did Crossfire.
Oh, I was just gonna ask that. That's
It was
awesome.
like they were all shocked by it, like that. They've been prepping for this, playing all these different types of video games.
Awesome.
And it was Crossfire. Then they had Jenga.
That's awesome.
And then they had the last one was Pie in the Face, which isn't a 90s game, but they did kind of trivia questions about past PJ Salt competitions.
How fun!
Man.
So that was exciting, and I think that's something you can enjoy whether you are someone that's really involved in Twitch or you're just just a viewer. So it was pretty good.
So you mentioned swag. Did you get any really good swag?
So I have to show you something funny. So Twitch was very picky about giving out these affiliate badges. So you had to show them on your badge that you're an affiliate to get it. But if you notice on there, they spelled affiliate wrong. Affiliate does not have 2 L's. So they realized this, I think, on day 2 or 3, and they stopped passing them out.
Oh, good
Wow.
job. Well, whoever made
Right.
those
Wow.
is now fired from Twitch.
Yeah.
That's
Jeez.
fantastic.
You
I
had
got
one job.
Right?
It's
They
a
had
button. You click a button.
Yeah, it's
A
called
button.
spell check.
Spell check.
and
yes.
nobody did. One of the things they gave out for anyone that had a
Oh, the
badge
fanny packs.
was
Yes.
the fanny pack, and then you
Oh,
got
Lord.
Kappa inside.
People oh, that's awesome. People were posting pictures of these online. It was quite viral. I love the Kappa though. That's fantastic.
Yes,
Really great.
I was honestly shocked to see people wearing them, but I don't know. I shouldn't have been. Like, I'm not gonna wear this, but I'm gonna keep it.
Great. The 90s fanny pack phase is going to come back full swing.
You know, you're excited.
I loved them
No.
when I was a kid. I
You
loved
would.
them. They were fat. I also had the tiny backpacks in the 90s. The little
Oh,
tiny
yeah.
backpacks. Oh, I loved them.
I had
Oh.
one of those just because I didn't want to deal with security checks.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was too busy playing with Transformers.
Mm-hmm. Robots. in
Transformers
the
are
sky.
dope, man.
More than CGI.
Pins, that was a big thing. Like, they collect them every year. So,
Mhm.
and then there was a lot of just kind of free stuff hanging out. I got like a bottle opener that has Twitch on it, so anytime I
Nice.
drink. But I ended up getting like a hoodie and a shirt. There were some things, like, I guess that's in their merch store that you won't be able to get online. So I did not opt for the TwitchCon onesie, but people were wearing those throughout. So
Mhm.
definitely something to get.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But then again, all these different streamers, even affiliates versus partners, they all kind of had their own stuff. So like they would pass out their own like stickers of their emotes. Some of them like signed them. So I mean, it was really cool. It was I think it was a good experience to see this was Starlit Blossom, just to see how some of these streamers are really who they are on stream. They were really down to earth, but at the same token, I did meet some people that I did cancel some subs when I got back.
Oh,
wow.
I was really surprised by like how they were in real life. I really didn't appreciate it. So I definitely canceled some of those.
This is the thing about Twitch, guys. As a streamer myself and a viewer of other streamers and a sub of some partnered Twitch streamers, I over time have come to the realize of what people truly are like. And it's very disappointing. So I'm sorry that you've had that experience.
Yeah, it was very it was disheartening to an extent, but I think it's real life. I think you have to remember that on Twitch, some people are playing it as this is a show, right? You're putting on a show.
Yeah.
So it was kind of sad to see that some people that I really thought were these great people, kind of in real life were not. So like I said, I canceled some subs and I subbed to some other people because they were really genuine.
Now I don't know who to trust. I'm just gonna unsub everyone and then go to TwitchCon next year and then make my decision.
Is it me, or do streamers on Twitch, like the really popular ones, come off as like really like douchebag dude broy?
Yeah.
Is that like the?
It's an inherent thing. I just don't like that about Twitch.
Yeah, it's like you can
breeds
imagine them
these
driving
people.
Volkswagens that have this sticker on the back of it.
I saw that the other day and I almost rear-ended the guy because yeah, that's pretty much it, Rick. You nailed it.
It felt like that way to me, but I just wasn't sure if that was me or I don't know.
I definitely see it when you see the people that get like 20K viewers. Those are the ones that I feel like were kind of, douchey. It's just, and I don't say that about everyone. Again, I don't know every streamer out there.
Sure.
But for the ones that I did see and the ones that I know of, that's how I felt. But again, you have to remember, people are subbing to these. People are watching this. So is that what we've come to? Is that what we like to watch?
Yeah.
So
I seen that you had posted on Twitter a picture of you with Kismet.
Yes.
Who I love. Kismet. If you guys don't know. Oh my gosh, the man has his own chocolate bar. If you guys don't know who Kismet is, you definitely you have to go and check this guy out. He is one of Twitch's elite. He is the creme de la creme. He loves Fallout. Loves it. And he's one of my favorites. And I'm so glad that you got to meet him. What was it like?
I was too. And he's the nicest guy ever. And actually, he got all his mods to come. So when I introduced myself, he goes, "Oh, Kern Jess," and like his mods gave me like stickers, tattoos, the candy bar. He was like, "I want to make." He gave me like bottle caps.
He has his own currency on his channel. He calls it Kiz Caps, which is basically a spin-off of the Fallout bottle caps.
That's awesome.
So that's
really
super
great.
cool. You have legit Kiz Caps. Yeah.
And I actually got to see Bethesda approach him and say, "Hey, we really want you to come to our meeting in the morning, because we want to talk to you about the games." And so I think yeah. So I don't know what happened with that, but I know that Bethesda approached him specifically.
Oh, wow.
So cool.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna. Of course, everybody wants like first access to VR and all that. So I think that's what he was going for. So
really
it was cool to be there and watch that happen.
Wow.
But, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of different, beyond that, you also had, you had your affiliate streamers, but you also I met this really cool guy. He actually is doing some charity stuff, and they're working on getting Twitch or streams, I guess, in hospitals, in a children's hospital, kind of all over. And where I live, they're actually going to start trying it out. They're worried about HIPAA. Privacy acts just with patient information, but I told them like I was really interested in just volunteering with that, and I don't know where that's going to go specifically, but I'm totally on board with kind of a charity, getting that out there. Again, I don't know if they're going to kind of go with a medical theme here or what they're doing, but I definitely want to be kind of grassroots and kind of see if I can kind of be part of that or spin it.
Yeah, I think, that has huge potential. I think that, there needs to be a lot of care and planning in
Definitely.
platforming that, because there's a lot of concerns there. But yeah, I think that there's the opportunity to reach the masses at a whole new level, because people just don't go to the doctor because, one, they can't afford it, or they are too afraid to go to face the truth, and I think that would be one of those opportunities to reach those people where they otherwise wouldn't be reachable. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, and again, I don't know the course that they have planned for it, but if working in the medical field, if there's some way that I can contribute to use this as a platform for medical, totally, I'm there 100%. So,
that's cool. I was just in a meeting the other day, actually, and they were talking about so up here we use telehealth, which is basically a virtual video conferencing where we connect with patients and we talk to them, things like that. But I was just in this meeting where they were talking about quality improvement, and Twitch actually came up. It was part of the conversation, and I thought that was really cool. So yeah.
Yeah, I think Twitch and just streaming has a lot of potential. Again, it's going to take a lot of care, as you know, but I definitely think it's something I want to get involved in.
Cool.
If I can.
Cool. Yeah. So was your hotel close to the venue, or did you stay?
Oh, don't get me started on hotels.
Oh no.
Oh, boy.
So I roomed with 3 other ladies, and they had booked the hotel way in advance. It was the one that was right connected to the convention center. I think in September she got a notice that they were overbooked.
Oh no.
We got moved to a different hotel. It wasn't too far away, but this happened to several different people they're partnered streamers. So this happened to several different people, as well as there were people that booked Airbnbs. And I guess they got a higher bid for the room and they just kicked them to the ground. So there were literally people like, hey, can I just sleep in your hotel room? Yeah, that's yeah. And I don't know if that's happened at other, TwitchCons or what, but that was just very ill planned, and definitely a way to start out a trip when you're 4 ladies and you're going to share a king size bed. So, yeah, so that was fun, but it was close. It was, walking distance. I think the majority of people were able to do that. Otherwise, people were kind of Ubering back and forth, but we lucked out at least in that sense. So
cool.
It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad.
So would you go back?
Yes. And the reason why I would go back, it doesn't have to do with Twitch, really. It would honestly have more to do with going back and seeing my friends and meeting people and just having those experiences. I mean, honestly, the best time that I had was hanging out with my roommates before we left, or at the night, at the end of the night when we were getting ready for bed. So I think that says a lot. It wasn't the keynotes, it wasn't the meet and greets of all these different people. It was literally the relationships and friendships that I've created in different communities.
Cool.
That's fabulous.
Yeah. So I mean, it has an upside to it. I have to tell you about the official party though. The official party was open to people that bought the 3-day badges, or they bought like a Saturday pass. Oh, here's my badge. So what it was on the Queen Mary. It was Saturday night. The Queen Mary is known for it was a luxury cruise ship, I guess, not a cruise ship, but
it was like a sister ship of the Titanic, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like it was really luxurious. And then later they ended up using it for in the World War. I don't know which one. Don't judge me.
Ship, I think World War One.
We'll just go with 3.
I was gonna guess it.
Well, we won't go into that, but
anyway,
it was a hospital ship.
So it was like it's super haunted. That's what it's known for. They've got all these crazy mazes on there, scary mazes that you can go to. They had these bars on there. They had games, rides, entertainment, and I didn't go.
What?
Because the lineup for it, I think people were in line at 9 p.m. to get into the ship.
Not
And
even
again,
worth it.
this was paid for with my badge. I bought my badge and I was going to get a free entrance into this party. People were in line at 9 and didn't get in until about 11:30.
That
So,
is really badly organized.
Yeah, it was horrible. Again, the main theme of TwitchCon this year was LineCon. And then just being busy all day and knowing that there was probably going to be a line. There was even a line for partners and they were still waiting. So
Wow.
I did not get to experience this amazing official party of TwitchCon. And I think a lot of people didn't.
Sounds like Twitch tried to save some money this year.
I wouldn't, fight that at all. But
That's unfortunate. I don't do lines. It's not my thing. I don't even go to I can't go to Walmart because I just can't. Well, that's different than lines. That's a whole other breed of people.
That's a whole nother thing.
But yeah, if I saw that, I would. Even if I paid money for it, forget it.
Yeah, I think we all kind of had that sentiment. So we all just went out to different places to eat. But...
I was gonna say, you see that line, you're like, just want to go to a bar. Yeah, let's just.
You want to go
do
get some
that.
drinks?
Yeah. Well, even the they have a Twitch partnered party, I guess, and there was even a line for that, and and that's like an invite only. So I don't.
Yeah.
All of these
That's
special
ridiculous.
parties were that way, and it was ridiculous. It really was. There's too much line waiting. So that's its downfall. 100%.
Wow. What do you guys think?
Let's
all go.
I really enjoyed hearing those great stories about TwitchCon. That was really great. I'm glad you came on, and it was really fun hanging out with you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Indeed. Does anybody have anything else? Should we read this email?
Absolutely.
Do it.
There's a new person in chat. Kind of threw me off. Lucy 757.
I think we all did that. We were like, "What?"
Yeah. Hello, Lucy.
I've never seen that icon before.
Welcome to chat.
Oh, that's the TwitchCon. So if you went to TwitchCon or you were going to go, you could have that badge.
Oh, that's super fun. Very cool.
Special little part of being there. Costs $17.95.
Or 180, something like that.
Yeah.
So this
And you had to wait in line for 3 hours. So
Digital line.
This email is actually not regarding this podcast. It's regarding a previous podcast, but
what?
we read it anyway.
Okay.
It says, "Hey, Rick and Shaline. So I recently started playing Fallout 4 about 3 weeks ago, and then I found your podcast immediately and have been hooked listening to you two. I started at episode 20 when you first started talking about Fallout 4 because this is my first experience at a Fallout game. I just listened to episode 63 today. So I've been going hard on listening, haha, and am sad to hear that it will be your last one.
Oh,
It's
no.
been amazing to listen to, and I really appreciate you for the content you provided. You have actually inspired myself and a buddy of mine that I work with to start our own podcast about video games in general. We will be going live in about 2 months, and I have an idea I would like to throw your way. I would love it and be honored if sometime down the road, once we get a few podcasts done and get established a little bit, if I could have one or both of you on as honored guests to talk about Fallout 4 or any other games you would like. I will also be giving you shout outs on my podcast since you were great inspiration to me. Thank you for all that you have done, and I wish you both the best in your next endeavors. Take care, Jeff." Now, I actually emailed Jeff back and told him to listen to Gamestack.
That's great.
So if you're listening, Jeff, welcome to Gamestack. Thank you for sticking with us.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes, I wished him the best of luck with his podcast, and I told him that I couldn't speak for you guys, but I would totally go on.
Yeah, and we would love to have you.
Yeah, let's all go on.
We would love to have you as guests on Gamestack.
Yes, fantastic.
We would be honored.
So,
I still don't understand it. I mean, I just got curious, and we're still in the top 100, and it
Really?
doesn't make any
Right?
sense. Who's still listening?
It's been a year. It's been a year this month since we've posted an episode.
I
And we're
know.
still getting like reviews and stuff.
I want to see
It
if
was
I
a
can
good
like
show.
just upload the troll song as an episode just to freak people out. Rick Roller. Oh man, I should have Rick Roll him. Anyway,
It's because
it's
you
still funny.
it's
It
because
blows
you
my
set yourself apart from general gaming podcast to Fallout gaming podcast.
I don't know. It's weird, but I'm really glad for listeners like Jeff and that he is
Yeah.
inspired to do a podcast.
I always feel
No.
kind of sad whenever somebody tweets at me though, like, "Hey, I just discovered this
I
podcast.
know.
I love it. Can't wait to hear the new episode." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
sweetie, I have bad news."
Yeah. By the way, we've
Listen to Gamestack.
as a former listener, it was such a heartwarming feel to start listening to the shows and get caught up, and then start listening and joining in on the live shows. That was just the best.
Aw.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for your email, and we still appreciate
Yeah.
feedback that we get, about these older shows, and like I think I can speak for Rick in saying that we are humbled and just really appreciate the love and the we're blown away and appreciative that you guys are still listening and enjoying these, and that they've continued to have a life long past our own contributions.
Well, like I just said in the chat, I'm a super humble guy. So
Yeah. So
I just
anyways,
think it's cool when others get inspired to do podcasting. So.
Yes,
cool.
that's money in the bank right there.
it's a pretty special thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, does anybody have anything they want to mention before we
Just
the
the stream
podcast?
next week.
Okay, streaming next week.
On
I
Saturday.
had a little story I was going to tell you guys and at the beginning of the podcast, and I totally forgot.
Nice.
I went to this work conference this week, right?
Oh,
And so I'm in this room with like all of these like mostly older ladies, and the speaker mentions the word podcast, right? Just a throwaway line.
And you're like a dog,
And,
ears just like what?
The lady next to me just does the most disgusted, dismissive snort I have ever heard, and says,
What?
podcasts. And I'm like, I was so offended.
Oh dear. And then you proceeded to tell her all about Gamestack and what a wonderful place it is.
Yeah, she's in the chat right now, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Really?
that's not what
Oh.
happened. That's not what happened at all. I just kept my mouth shut because I was super nervous, and I'm really awkward around people I don't know. So I just thought that was really funny because she was just like, podcasts.
See,
and I'm
that's
like,
why
what did podcasts do to you? Like,
that's why it's so important
Wow.
not to have an opinion about anything,
No,
because somebody somewhere. Oh dear.
I love podcasts. I love them.
Me
and
too.
Speaking of podcasts, this isn't the only one you can listen to me on. I'm also on ASA Podkarting, a Mario Kart show. That comes out like once a week. I'm on most of them. Speaking of ASA Podkarting, I'll be doing an episode of that on the ASA Podcasting Cystic Fibrosis charity live stream next weekend. Next weekend? On November 11th.
It is next
That's
weekend.
next weekend. It's November 11th. You're honored to be there. Guys are yeah or no?
Huh? What?
Look at the notes, Rick. Yay or nay?
I'm in agreement with whoever typed that.
Okay, guys, we
Okay.
have a rather large announcement. Drum roll.
But like most things, it's very, 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 very. It's been meticulous.
Extremely well planned out.
very planned.
for years.
We've got it all planned out.
Mhm.
If you have any questions, just message Jess. She'll settle it. Drum roll. Blah, blah, blah,
I got
blah,
this.
blah, 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 blah. Shaline.
we're gonna do Extra Life.
Extra Life!
Yeah, we're doing Extra Life this year. Not on the day that everyone else is doing it.
No,
'Cause that's
too
tomorrow.
normal.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. We're not ready. We're not ready.
No, we are ready. We're just not ready to tell you when.
So
it's a surprise.
Surprise.
To a lot of us, it's a
yeah, we will
surprise.
announce that as soon as we are darn
Ready.
ready.
To announce it.
We still have to
To
have a
announce
meeting about that.
We do, yeah, we do. And we're not going to do it on this podcast. What is Extra Life? Captain Bones asks Vendertron, why don't you describe Extra Life?
So
that's a nice lateral move.
Extra Life is a non-profit organization that caters to streamers like all of us. And the goal of the organization is to raise money for children's health, primarily with respect to a hospital in your area if you are a Extra Life streamer. Because we are intracontinental, we will be just streaming just in general for children's health, but it raises funds for hospitals all around North America. Is it just North America? I'm not sure.
It's specifically Children's Miracle Network hospitals.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you, Rick.
Yep.
So we will be doing a 24-hour charity live stream.
What?
Yes.
24.
Those are fun.
Like
Joseph is asking, did we have a goal in mind that we want to raise? Yes. We're
more-
not ready to announce it yet.
yeah, totally.
Totally have it planned though.
It's somewhere in the ballpark of $20,000 to $50,000.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Somewhere
It's
between
give or
those.
take.
Way up there.
Give or
Way, yeah.
Yes.
it's gonna be fun times.
So reach, talk to grandma, and
Well,
and
what I was
Betty.
gonna say is, please give us your suggestions for things you'd like to see us play.
Yes. Give us all your ideas for what to do over 24 hours of Extra Life streaming.
And honestly, we do have a couple games in mind. That's not a joke. We do have a couple games in mind. We are working on the details quickly as we can. So yeah, we actually we joke about like the ill preparedness, but we are very
We have
serious
been
about
talking about it for quite a while.
Yeah, and
So
we will be releasing a formal schedule to you guys in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Just so that you have a better idea of when you would like to tune in to see what's going on, or if you just want to keep up to date with the schedule over the course of the 24 hours. So.
Yep.
Indeed. So.
Definitely.
And if they would like to get in touch with us, how can the good people do that? Rick.
Oh, you could just email us at info@wejustlovegames.com. You can reach out to us also on the Tweeterville at We Just Love Games and Shaline at Shaline. You can tweet me at Rick McVick, and you can tweet Vendertron at Vendertron, and you can tweet Jess at KRNJess. Is that Kern Jess?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
You can tweet Jess at Kern Jess. You can also follow us on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/We Just Love Games and facebook.com/groups/We Just Love Games. You can follow us on Discord. Do we have a URL for that, or is it invite only?
No, it's invite only. So send any of us a message and we will get you an invite link to the Discord. Hopefully to our Discord, not to Vendertron's personal Discord.
Yes, exactly. Our live recording time here on Twitch is 6 p.m. Mountain Time, which translates to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is the correct time. And it's on twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. We're also on YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher Radio, and pretty much anywhere else that you can find your favorite podcasts. If you cannot find this podcast, I don't know how you'd be listening to it, but if it's not on your favorite aggregate, please let us know, and we will put it on there for you. Thank you so much for listening. And Shaline, did I step on your last word?
No, I didn't have one.
Okay.
Podcasts.
Nice. Thank you so much for listening, and let's all say goodbye.